I know, I'm working on my cinematography classes. Just kidding. Mr. Pace here, candidate for the Woodman Hills Metro District Board. I am looking for a document. I know I have, because I have a lot of them. The documents I got. Oh. Okay. All right, thanks for stopping by, everyone. I know you're waiting to hear what's going on. So I'm going to make this real simple for you. I'm a veteran. I have members of my family who are veterans going back 4 generations, as far as I can recall, from both sides of my family. So when I tell folks it's important and imperative that you vote and do things and move forward with your civic duty, those are things I think that some people need to do and some people don't. But when someone tells me I can't, that gives me a big problem, because I'm not a lawyer. I have stayed at Holiday Inn Expresses, and sometimes things are funny and sometimes things are not. But when I have a man tell me that I can't do something and what I'm reading around me says otherwise, because they have a law degree and I don't, that gives me a little bit of a problem. I got a problem with that. Because lawyers think they can do whatever they want, because simple lay people don't know how to fight back, and they get it. A lot of people do one or two things, and most people take off, or they just don't want to fight, or they ignore the problem and they let it fester and it gets bigger and bigger. I'm a person who decides to fight back. In particular, the person we're speaking is Peter Seshmill of Seshmill, McDermott, and Cowan. And it's not relevant for the other two, but his name's the first one on the door. So I will let you know now that on a particular date in question, this was signed on March 1st, is a self-nomination form for Bentgrass, okay? And I will now read to you what's in this self-nomination and acceptance form. I affirm that I am an eligible elector of Bentgrass Metropolitan District, and I am eligible elector at the time of the signing of the self-nomination and acceptance form. I am an eligible elector because I am a registered to vote in Colorado and am, mark 1, a resident of the district or area to be included in the district, or the owner of taxable real property or personal property situated within the boundaries of the district. Spouse's name, if the property is in the spouse's name. Very key, those words, okay? So I want to go over the key words again, okay? Property situated within the boundaries, or the other one, a resident of a district or area to be included in the district. This matter coming before the Board of Directors for public hearing at regularly scheduled meeting held on Tuesday, October 16, 2003 at 4 p.m. at the district offices of 11720 Woodman Hills Drive, and the board having heard the testimony from the petitioners and having fully considered the petition for inclusion of certain real property, hereby make the following finding in order. Petitioners are also, please be quiet, petitioners are owners of 100% of real property described in the attached legal description, okay? And basically this is considered to be what's called the Houchins Agreement, okay? So it tells you the petitioners are the owners. It says there was a notice posted and they are the sole free owners of the real property, which is the subject of the petition, and have full right and power and authority to bring the petition, and that by the execution of this petition, petitioners have asserted to the, it's assented and formally requested the permanent inclusion of the subject real property into Woodman Hills Metropolitan District. That petition for inclusion was brought pursuant to Title 32, Article 1, Part 4, as amended. The Board of Directors for Woodman Hills heard the petition at a public hearing on October 16, 2003 at 4 p.m. at the district offices at 11720 Woodman Hills Drive in Peyton. No persons appeared to show cause why the petition shouldn't be granted. There were no written objections filed. The inclusion of the petition property will not be detrimental to Woodman Hills Metropolitan District. Having considered all the factors set forth herein and all of the statutory requirements for inclusion, the undersigned Board of Directors for Woodland Hills Metropolitan District hereby orders that the subject real property, which is described in the petition, is and should be included in the Woodland Hills Metropolitan District and shall be subject to all rights and liabilities of the lands included in said Woodland Hills Metropolitan District, and shall further be subject to certain inclusion agreements dated September 18th, 2003. That's the land for Bentgrass. Okay? Now, this is the petition of the court that was filed according to this on October 3rd. It looks like 2003. I don't want to get that thing wrong, but I can't read this. So, I don't think it's that. Oh, it's 03 October 20 something. I apologize. It's really faded. So now comes Pete Seshmel. Okay, now comes the Woodland Hills Metropolitan District. That was their lawyer through its counsel Seshmel and you know Pete, and hereby petitions the court for this order that the properly execute a petition of various property owners, quote unquote landowners, was therefore presented at the board. That was this one. And praying for the inclusion of lands within the boundaries of said district, that the petition was executed by the landowners as the owners of said lands. I might want to debate a little bit of that, but we'll get into that later. The proper notice of filing of said petition was given and published as provided in such cases. That was done here. Okay? That said notice set forth the filing of said petition, that the name of the landowners and description of the land mentioned in the petition, and gave notice to all persons interested to appear at a regularly scheduled board meeting of the district on Tuesday, October 16, 2003, to show cause in writing, if any, why this petition should not be granted. That pursuant to the filing of said petition and said notice, the regular meeting of the Board of Directors was held on October 16, 2003 at 4 p.m. That no person appeared at said meeting to object to the granting of the prayer of said petition or to show cause why the petition should not be granted, and that said Board of Directors at said meeting on Thursday, October 16, 2003, found that the inclusion of said lands would not be detrimental to the district, and that the said Board of Directors did duly adopt the resolution and order including the lands described in the petition referred to within the boundaries of said Woodland Hills Metropolitan District, and that a copy of the resolution and order is herewith presented to this court. Wherefore, Woodland Hills Metropolitan District prays that an order of this court be granted providing the lands described in the petition referred to be incorporated and included in and within the boundaries of said Woodland Hills Metropolitan District and made a part of said district. A part of. Okay? Subject to all rights and liabilities of lands therefore included in said district, that said lands to be included in said district are described in the Board of Directors order for inclusion of certain real property in the Woodland Hills Metropolitan District, a copy of said order being attached hereto and made part of this petition for inclusion. Signed by Pete himself. Fun part. Pay attention, Bentgrass. This one might get you going. In this matter, coming to be heard upon the petition of the Woodland Hills Metropolitan District acting by and through its Board of Directors and praying for an order of the inclusion of certain real property within the boundaries of the district, and the court having considered said petition and being fully advised in the premise, do find, I love that word. Okay, this was filed on December 9, 2003. Bentgrass owners and everybody else, please pay special attention. This is the part I like the most. That the properly executed petition was heretofore presented to the Board of Directors, I'm sorry, there was a typo in that, of Woodland Hills Metropolitan District, praying for the inclusion in the hereinafter described land within the boundaries of said district, that the petition was signed by the owners of said land, agreeing to the inclusion of said lands within the district and acknowledging that said land would not be entitled to use of the district's recreational facilities. Let me read that again. That the petition was signed by the owners of said land agreeing to the inclusion of said land within the district and acknowledging that said land would not be entitled to the use of the district's recreational facilities. That's Bentgrass land. thought you should know that. That the proper notice of the filing of said petition was given and published as provided by law. Okay. Said notice was set forth in the filing of the petition, the names of the petitioner, the description of the land to be included, and gave notice to all interested parties to appear at the regularly scheduled board meeting on October 16, 2003, at 4 p.m. at 11720 Woodman Hills Drive, otherwise known as the Clubhouse, and at that time the office. Pursuant to the filing of said petition and said notice, the regular meeting of the board of directors was held, so on and so on and so on. We're going to get down to the close of this. It is therefore ordered, adjudged and decreed that the real property described in the attached legal description incorporated herein is hereby incorporated and included in the Woodman Hills Metropolitan and made part of said district, subject to all rights and liabilities of land heretofore included in said district. And that each and every of the acts, I said that right, and doing of the boards of the directors of said Woodman Hills Metropolitan District and the acceptance of the district's petition herein before referred to and publishing of the notice of filing of said petition and hearing hereon and the inclusion of the above described land in said district are hereby ratified and confirmed. Okay? If Mr. Seshmill of Seshmill and the rest of them want to fight, and Bentgrass wants to fight, and they want to deny me the right to run, give me my paperwork back showing my denial. Okay? No matter what, I'm going to make sure that everybody I know, including taking out an ad in the paper, knows that you, Mr. Seshmill, failed, along with the other people who had their snide remarks over at Bentgrass. Okay, not including Mr. Case, because he didn't really have anything to say on it yet. But the people that work for Kevin Walker, like the lady in the office who said you're wasting your time and your money, it's my money to waste, just like I told her. When you deny somebody, you got to fill it out, and you got to give it back to me, so I have a right to challenge it. What are you fighting for? I know what I'm fighting for. Thanks for stopping by. Now you know who Mr. Pace is and why documents are important. Thanks for watching my video. Oh, don't forget to